Hello again. Many people were a little taken aback when comedian Russell Brand was baptised in April. It was an odd kind of baptism because rather than being conducted in a church, it took place in the River Thames. Still, nothing wrong with that, you might say. I mean, where did the custom of baptism begin? In a river, that's where. If it was good enough for John the Baptist to baptise Jesus in a river, why should anybody be a little dubious about Russell Brand following in Jesus' footsteps? There was no priest involved either, which was also somewhat unusual. It was a celebrity baptism, with Bear Grylls and Russell Brand and another unidentified man. Since then, Brand has baptised somebody himself, and why not? There is, after all, scriptural authority for his doing so. He's been praying on television as well, falling to his knees in front of Tucker Carlson. This is, of course, all part of a particular and well-known phenomenon, and an anecdote from a family known to me might help illustrate what might have been going on, I should say. The husband of a friend of mine was being investigated for some unsavoury activities with fairly young girls. He had not been charged, but decided to bolt and went off to the continent. Once there, he headed to a well-known spot for pilgrims and became closely involved with the place, taking instruction there with a view to becoming a member of the Catholic Church. Eventually, he returned to this country and was charged. To everybody's surprise, when the case came to court, he was not sent to prison, ended up with probation instead. The judge was very impressed with the way that he had turned his life around, and the priest at his local church gave him a glowing reference, saying what a keen member of the congregation he was. This is, of course, a very old dodge indeed. You see it in prison when men start hanging round the chapel and offering to help out, handing out the hymn book. Or at any rate, that used to be the case. I'm not sure if it still is. It was always a good move if you were applying for parole to get well in with the padre. On an unrelated note, Russell Brand was accused last autumn of sexual assaults and grooming, including an allegation involving a 16-year-old girl. A civil action was also launched against him for the same kind of thing in the United States. He has denied all this, but has also been interviewed several times by the police in connection with the matter. Following all this, his agent dropped him, YouTube demonetised his channel, and his career more or less collapsed. A few days ago, the Metropolitan Police sent a file to the Crown Prosecution Service, and we're now waiting to see if the evidence is felt to be strong enough to charge him. I don't like to be a cynical man, but I cannot help but wonder if this religion isn't uh, being adopted with an eye on the possibility of using it as a mitigating circumstance and an indication of a change of heart should the case reach the court.